Welcome to Supershea Gaming Podcast. This is our inaugural session, our very first podcast. I am the Supershea alongside my tag team partners.
Cool Dan 1211.
And ACMS Gaming.
So today I thought we would just start with a brief overview. What we do on our gaming channel is we play all kinds of different games. We also have our own specific channels. So there's the Supershea Gaming channel, Cool Dan 1211 channel, and ACMS Gaming channel. We all do our own things. So for starters, let me ask, we're going to go around the table and we're going to talk about the games that we are currently playing at the moment.
We don't have a table.
Okay, we're going to go around the table without a table. At any rate, Cool Dan, what are you currently playing right now on your channel?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Good question.
Come on, dude, just answer the question.
Trying to get the final achievement in Minecraft Bedrock, survive 100 days, and in Minecraft Java, not much.
So you're on PC doing Minecraft now, and basically due to mods, and you bought a PC specifically for this, and you spent a lot of money on that computer. So
over 600. You spent 400.
So yeah, let's talk about that for just a second. What exactly is it that you're working on right now?
What I'm working on right now is something I don't even know.
So, are you just going into this blindly?
Yes.
Or okay, so apparently you're just doing this blindly.
Well, I know that I've heard that you are working on servers and such.
Yeah, Minecraft servers and all. It's kind of hard to figure out since I have no input from my boss for a Pikmin craft server.
So Pikmin Craft, let's talk about that for just a second.
So Pikmin Craft is a mod made by, well, not mod, a add-on for Minecraft Bedrock made by this person named Axel PBZ. He 20 some. Hang on, where's my
20 something?
Yeah, 20 something. I don't forget. I do not forget. Cannot speak correctly. I do not remember the rest of his name, but Pikmin Craft X is a fork of Pikmin Craft by Axel, my nickname for him. And the Pikmin Craft X founder is named Usagi Benny. I call him Benny for short, so there's that. And I'm a developer on that. Benny is right now working on the add-on and on trying to fix some stuff, and I have no idea what I need to do to help.
So that's interesting to me. So you're developing within the Minecraft Pikmin server. So how are you developing? What are you developing, and how is that going?
I'm just developing on the add-on. I have no input on the server.
Oh, hey, look, this turned into an interview.
Yes. Why don't we interview you?
All right, so ACMS Gaming. Let's talk about your channel. You are currently on YouTube, and you've been doing a bunch of live streams. What have you been playing?
Well, I've namely been playing Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. So far, I've just recently beaten the game. Yes, already, I know. It took me around 18 hours of total playtime.
That is incredibly quick. You've been running through that really fast, and I got the pleasure of sitting in on that with you a couple of times, and that was a lot of fun. So tell us about why you decided to play that and what it is that you're going to do now.
Well, so far I've been showing off how to fully complete the game, in which I know it's insane to know, but I've only recently 100% it, so I'm actually showing others how to do it.
So 100%, so you're clearing every possible achievement.
Yep. It doesn't mean every possible thing in the game, just means every possible achievement. The platinum, as they say.
And what made you choose Spider-Man 2 right now?
Well, it's because I also played it and beaten it within my own playtime.
Okay, that's cool. What are you planning next?
Well, the only hint that I can really give is that it's going to be quite the different type of game.
Different. Define different.
As in, it acts like one of those fighters games.
Okay. So I know that in your history, you have done games like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and you've done what the other
Sword Art
Dragon Ball
Online.
Fighters. You've done Sword Art Online a lot. So what are we looking at next?
Well, so far I've been making slow progress on Sword Art Online's latest game, Last Recollection. And it plays similarly to the previous installments, but they seem to have changed up quite a lot about this game than the previous installments.
Cool. How so?
Well, it's kind of hard to say, but it looks like it can change gear mid-fight. At least that's what it looks like but I'm not entirely sure. Or I'm taking slow those steps to figure out what all they changed.
Okay. Cool. So for the Supershea Gaming channel, we have been doing a lot of videos on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That is one of my personal favorites. I've enjoyed the heck out of playing that. We do all of the 7-star Terra raids and the specialty raids that come out. And we show, what type of build you can use to beat it. We've also done live streams on Subnautica as of late because we are planning an arc based around several different games. Subnautica Below Zero, No Man's Sky, and Starfield. And that is our current plan, is we want to create an entire story arc around those games and create a character that's going to be going through all of them and put it all together, kind of mesh it all together into one long storyline. And this was Cool Dan 1211's idea. This is his brainchild. So, how did you come up with this idea?
I watch a lot of story arc YouTube videos.
Okay.
That's very straightforward and to the point.
Very straightforward. So, give me a little bit of detail on what it is that you're hoping to do with this.
Introduce mods into Subnautica as a good idea.
Well, it's already a good idea because people have done it.
Good point.
So, I'm just curious, what is it that you're hoping to do with this storyline?
Try to give our stream viewers there's something to watch as we figure out what to do for the next streams.
Cool. So ACMS,
Yes.
you have also been within the Supershea Gaming umbrella, and you've been in our videos quite frequently as a
Cameo.
Yeah, as a cameo. You just kind of pop in wherever, and you're like, "Hey, I'm here. Oh, bye."
And then always plugs his video.
So, to give a little bit of insight about that, it's actually just so I can keep myself relevant on the channel. I'm basically just the entire butt of the joke.
But see, even with that, you've developed a following because there were people literally asking for you to show up on the videos. They're like, "Where's ACMS? Where's Sinister ACMS?"
Sinister?
Yeah, because of the picture that's on our banner that we have on the wall for our videos. It looks sinister. It really does.
Well, we should probably update our banner a little bit. I mean, quite literally, we're going into the next year. We might as well just. Well, at the time when this was recorded, we were like a day or two before New Year's.
Yeah, tomorrow is New Year's Day for us. This won't come out until next week, so it'll be a week after New Year's when this comes out. But yeah, at the time of recording this, we have a banner up on our wall that has ACMS Gaming looking absolutely sinister.
Yeah, we plan to remake that.
Now, tell me something. So, we on the Supershea Gaming channel, we have seen 2 Chads. Is there a third one in the works?
Huh? What
We
are you
don't have
talking
input
about?
for that.
So I heard rumor that there was to be a summoning of a third Chad.
That's gonna happen.
It is?
Well, that's what I hear. Somewhere around 500 subs.
Hang on. So do you have any input on that?
Well, all I have is what I just said. Is that I've heard rumor that there is to be a summoning for a third Chad.
How
Could
many
you get
subs do we have right
Chad
now?
Shay?
Hold on.
I really don't want. Dude, what's up?
So what is your input for the third Chad?
Oh, dude, so he is so killer, dude. He is awesome. He is gonna be fantastic, yo. So like,
Can someone get him out of here?
we're totally gonna summon him. Like, I'm waiting for the special moment. Like, there's 500 subs that I'm looking for, and once we hit that, dude, we're totally summoning him, and he is gonna take over Supershea Gaming, and it truly will be Chad Shea Gaming thereafter. So hang 10, dudes.
Okay,
We're
get
totally
out of
gonna-
here, you
Wait,
idiot.
no. Ow. Oh.
And yeet!
Ow, my pancreas.
What's a pancreas?
No idea, dude.
You totally just said dude, didn't you?
Oh, fudge.
So,
Okay,
anyways.
Let me get this
Yeah,
idiot
I
out.
did.
I'm gonna get
Oh,
this idiot
God.
out of here too. So
I'm.
give me a
Wait,
minute.
Hang on. We got cool Chad here with us.
Yeah,
Cool
dude.
Chad. Tell us a little bit about our third Chad to be expecting.
He's gonna be awesome, dude. He's gonna take over this channel, turn this podcast into Super Chad Gaming Podcast, dude.
Super Chad. So, like, what I heard
Oh yeah,
from
Chad Shea Gaming.
yeah,
dude.
from what I heard from Chad Shea Gaming is he was coming in to help create Chad Shea Gaming as the overall instead of Super Chad Gaming. Is there something that you know that he doesn't?
I slip our words, dude.
Oh, I see. I don't know if I believe this dude. How about you, ACMS?
Roll for charisma.
Okay, hang me a dice, dude.
Wait, now we're D&Ding? What the heck?
Oh, by the way, this is actually going to be something to expect on this podcast.
What did I get, dude?
That's a 5. Get out of here.
Oh, fudge, dude.
Be gone, demon.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so yeah, we have lots to look forward to on the Supershea Gaming channel,
Yeah.
on ACMS channel, and on Cool Dan 1211 channel. So, what I want to get into next is what is your favorite game of all time? Cool Dan, you're first.
Here we go. My favorite game of all time has to be Minecraft. Grew up on it. Made
Of
me happy.
course.
So, tell me, what is it that got you into Minecraft?
Well, I was born into the same year that it started development.
Okay, continue. What made you enjoy it as much as you do?
The simplistic of the game.
The simplistic style.
Yes. It was simple, easy to learn, and possibly one of the most easy games until, nowadays.
Did it have anything to do with your favorite creators?
Oh, yes, definitely. Stampy Longnose, Dan TDM, PMA. No, wait. Popular MMOs.
Popular MMOs.
Yes, guys.
By the way, hey, he's actually been making a slow return on YouTube. He started his own podcast. He's been through quite a lot recently. He's having a few prison times, but it was because of stupid stuff and the fact that he just wasn't in a good place. He's slowly making a recovery.
Oh man.
Yes.
So, what about you, ACMS? What is your favorite game of all time and why?
I guess if you were to look at the play times on my PlayStation, you would see that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has been quite up there. But it's not for the same reason as Deej. Well, Cool Dan.
So let's get into that. Why is that your favorite?
Well, to put it in the less complex area, because Supershea can only count a potato.
True story.
Wait, what?
Basically, the game when it first launched, it was back in 2016. And it was a pretty small game. It had quite a lot of developments, but Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, it was pretty simplistic. We only had a few transformations: Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta, Potential Unleashed, Kaioken, Turn Golden, Giant, and Purification.
Are you sure that's just you?
Yeah, there's like 7 things.
So why Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
Well, it allows you to create your own character and actually put some development into how they work and stuff.
And you are a huge fan of the Dragon Ball series, correct?
Yeah, I've been recently doing a playthrough of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but I plan to get back into that soon, and so stay tuned on that one.
So what is it that brought you to the decision that Dragon Ball was your favorite?
Well, I originally watched the anime, hey, with Supershea, hey, a pretty long time ago. I'd say 10 years ago,
At
or
least.
9. Somewhere between those two time frames. And I was just watching it with him, and I just fell in love with the characters. In fact, I just recently got myself of 2 figurines of Goku.
And that's your favorite character?
Yeah, it's because as he pretty much just reminds me of me.
How so?
He's stupid.
No,
Jokes
wait.
aside.
No, that's
And it's because he loves martial arts, as do I.
Supershade's
Fair
the
enough.
stupid one.
Yeah, I'm the stupid one, I thought.
Supershade's the stupid one.
See, it's unanimous. I'm the stupid one.
Yeah, he's the stupid one.
So for me, I come from way back. I was alive when there were no video games, and I was alive when video games came out. So for me,
Boomer.
no, I'm Gen X.
Because
We're the gen that nobody wants to mess with. Anyways, my
you're all
favorite game.
smarter than everyone.
My favorite game would have to be the original Legend of Zelda. I absolutely love that game. I can't tell you how many hours I've put into it. It was innovative in its time, and so much so that they had to recreate it in this time with Breath of the Wild.
Well, correction, Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, Breath of the Wild was kind of the inception of the open world view that Zelda 1 was supposed to be.
I'm just gonna take my mic off its clip for a moment.
So, like, I feel like Breath of the Wild is kind of a remake of the original Legend of Zelda game. It encompasses everything that the original Legend of Zelda was.
To give some input here, Breath of the Wild was actually the first release on the Nintendo Switch ever.
Correct. And it feels like that they did that intentionally as a throwback to the original Zelda, because that was one of the greatest games at the time. I still have my original NES and the gold cartridge that Legend of Zelda came with. And it just, that was the beginning. And I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is just a continuation of that. And I loved everything about it. Like the Master Sword started there, which wasn't the Master Sword at the time. It was the Magical Sword.
Now, tell us, what all do you know about the original Legend of Zelda?
I know that it's one of the greatest games ever made. I know that it was one of the pinnacle RPG games. I know that Ganon was by far the best villain in the Zelda games. Henceforth, they created Ganondorf later on, but I feel like he is kind of an underling to the Ganon of the original series, because why would you create a underling if he was superior to the big boss?
Well, the theory stands that Ganondorf was is a sort of original form to the giant pig that Ganon ended up as.
Right. And Ganon, I feel like, is the best antagonist of all of those games, the entire Zelda series. I think he is the ultimate villain. And the fact that they had the 8 dungeons and you collected something new from each dungeon. I remember the red ring, the blue ring, the arrows, the boomerangs, both wooden and silver, all those things. It just added so much to the game originally. And you got a raft that you had to use to get across the water areas, and the ladder, which you could get across shortened water areas and lava areas. It was really, really well thought out and really well laid out, and you could go in any direction you wanted to at any time. And the puzzles within it were amazing. Like the one area where it has like that cross, and you have to go in a specific direction 4 times in a row to make the actual dungeon appear. I thought that was brilliant.
So, you mind telling us a little bit about the game itself? Like what all is there to the game?
So there's 8 dungeons that you have to get through before you can go to Ganon. You have to find all these materials in order to reinforce your character. The ultimate setup, so to speak, is having the red ring, which made it harder for them to damage you.
How many rings were there?
There was just the blue and the red. Like you started in your green tunic, just like you would expect Link to. And then as you went through several of the dungeons, you found things on your way through. One of which was the blue ring, and that made it a little bit harder to damage you. And the red ring, which was like 50% damage as opposed to 25% from the blue.
To give more explanation, 25% means they only do 25% less, and 50% means all damage is cut by half.
Correct. So you wanted to have the red ring, which you had to get from a dungeon. You wanted to have the silver arrow. That was the only thing that could really kill Ganon.
What exactly is the silver arrow, to be exact?
So the silver arrow, essentially, the way I translate it is
a silver bullet hitting a werewolf.
Yeah, similar, or almost like a holy arrow, because it was imbued with a specific type of magic that could take Ganon's magic down, and you could only kill him with that.
However, if I recall correctly, you can't get to Ganon even if you have these items yet. There's something that we're missing.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of items that you have to get. I don't want to spoil too much, because if you haven't played it yet, you need to.
It's on Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, and I think it is one of the greatest games you will ever play. It's old and it has the 8-bit graphics and all that, but still, the game holds true today as it did when it came out.
Well, let me ask you a question. How do you exactly feel about some people remaking this game in a 3D format?
It ruins the
Okay, so this is a tough question for me because I love, love, love that game. I dislike remakes most of the time because it takes away a lot of what the original game had. Okay, it takes away a lot of the integrity of the original game. The 3D modeling, I don't care about because I was around when there were no video games. And then I saw them come into being, and we had games like Pac-Man and Pitfall,
Weren't
and
those arcade games?
yeah, they were. They were
Well,
arcade games, and they were the first ones to ever come home onto consoles.
let me be more specific. What do you think about fans of the series making the 3D remake using in pixels as its 3D modeling to remake the entire game from scratch?
Um, I'm okay with it so long as they stay true to the story. That's the main thing for me.
I'm
The
pretty sure
storyline
they
of
would.
Link and Princess Zelda and Ganon, so long as they stay true to the story, I'm okay with it. I feel like the beauty of the older games is the simplicity of them. When we had our games, there were literally two buttons, a control pad, and a start and a select button, and that was it. You know,
I
uh,
think we actually had a turbo controller that had an extra set that were actually a different color.
we did, but that came later. Originally, there was just that one rectangular controller that had two buttons, a control panel, start and select, and that was all there was to it. Uh, and the simplicity made it fantastic. I almost feel like today in a lot of games, the complexity of the controller and all of the different commands that have to be used in order to make characters work almost detracts from the game itself, because you have to work so much harder to play the game, and games are intended for what?
Fun.
Fun. They're intended to be fun. They're not intended to be work. So for me, I feel like simplicity is a huge thing for video games. I think it should be more simplistic than it currently is.
That's why I prefer Minecraft Beta 1.7. It's all simplicity. You don't have all these huge things you gotta worry about. All you got is
Uh,
A, S, W, and D to move around, left and right click. And also
Just,
why I also like Zelda, the
just,
original.
just remember that the current Minecraft is actually going into a good direction,
Don't get me
and
wrong, it's
so
it's great on current Minecraft. It's just the older versions had so much less you had to worry about.
I prefer 1.7.10, but that's because of the mods that are available for that
Oh
version.
yeah, Dragon Block C. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so now to go into a even and more different question. What do you think of Tears of the Kingdom?
It's awesome.
I love Tears of the Kingdom. I think they are fantastic games. A little more
Complex.
complex than I feel like they need to be, but all in all, I absolutely love them. I logged tons of hours into them. I played a ton of both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Funny enough, I was actually the one who beat the game before them, but I also ended up pouring a lot of hours into Breath of the Wild by itself, collecting every single shrine. But I have my own gripes with both games in particular.
So let's talk about that. What are your gripes?
Well, first off, I think with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I have a feeling they were supposed to be a more interconnected story. Both of them seem like they happen right after for each other, since the characters don't look any more different besides Zelda having cut her hair to be shorter. I
That's a
think
fair assessment.
I think they were supposed to be a part of the same game, but they couldn't, and due to running out of time to develop it.
They could have just pushed it back like every other game.
Well, I feel like they actually did make them as a sequel to, Breath of the Wild. I think Tears of the Kingdom was the aftermath of Breath of the Wild.
Now, while that could be true, there's also the fact that one, and Tears of the Kingdom seems to have a few changes is that Breath of the Wild didn't have. For example, all the weapons actually have lower durability because there's Ganondorf, like the actual guy, he ended up causing all the weapons to rot a bit.
I can agree with this, but again, I feel like that's part of the aftermath of everything that went down in Breath of the Wild.
Well, one thing that happened in Breath of the Wild that didn't, and for Tears of the Kingdom, is that the final boss actually he required you to have a horse, something that most of the other games haven't really tried.
That's true. That's true. That did kind of change the game a little bit.
Now they also ended up giving you an overpowered bow, but it seems like bows of light are kind of useless now, since there's only one type of arrow, and I think this was kind of a poor decision. And even though they were also trying to make use of the fuse mechanic, I think they could have kept the elemental arrows and stuff, but make it so that only the basic arrows could have stuff fused to them.
That's an interesting concept. I could go along with that.
I mean, it would also allow our bows of light to actually be unique and shoot light arrows instead of being regular bows that do nothing more than have an increased range of attack.
I could see that. So let's shift gears for just a second.
Something more positive about the games.
We've talked about our favorite games, our current games. What about your least liked games?
Oh my.
Cool, Dan. What is your least favorite game?
Oh. I haven't really thought about that topic yet. I can't really find much. There's only like features of games that I don't like so far. I haven't really found a game that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the Sword Art Online series.
I'm gonna have a few words with you later.
Oh dear. There is one feature of Dragon Ball Xenoverse that I don't like. Don't get me wrong, the game is amazing. It's just I don't like the camera feature.
Why do you not like the camera?
Well, it's overused.
Well, to be honest, you've only seen me use that.
I've used it and I still don't like it.
I would recommend maybe try to find an actual game. Now, I guess overall he does have a few good pointers, but personally, as for me, I don't really like Terraria all that much.
We're gonna have some talk later about that.
Way to take my
our
joke.
household is going to be in disarray shortly.
Oh, yeah.
Way to take my joke, dude. Way to take my joke.
Oh no, I didn't take
But
it.
go ahead. Let's delve into that. Why don't you like Terraria?
Well, the game itself is kind of good, but I have quite a few gripes with it. Namely, it's not beginner friendly. I mean, the game itself requires that you play specifically on the hard mode difficulty. They don't let you go easy mode for the entirety of the game. They force you into the harder difficulties after you beat a specific boss down in hell itself.
Well, here's some pointers about that. So the game is actually kind of beginner friendly. It does have a tutorial.
What tutorial? I never found it.
Really? I legit played the tutorial.
Hey, I played the game with you as well, but the game itself isn't that beginner friendly. The tutorial is literally limited to a guide that you can talk to, and I'm pretty sure most players wouldn't have even talked to him.
Okay, so there is a button on the front screen. I don't know if they got rid of it on console, but I remember specifically a button called tutorial on the main menu. I
I
clicked
never
on it.
saw that button when we played, so
Hang on.
A lot of times people just don't pay attention to that kind of thing.
We got our console right here. So we're gonna prove something. If
Now,
we are.
in the meantime, I have a couple of games that I don't like, and I'm sure this is going to stir some controversy with listeners. Not so much you guys, because I think both of you are kind of in agreement with me. I am not a fan of Call of Duty.
Oh, I'm 100% with you.
I am not a fan of Fortnite.
I'm somewhat on the same page with you.
And
did a
I don't like GTA, which, granted, I played Vice City. I played 3 when I was younger. I don't like them. I don't feel like they are a good representation of what video games should be. Too many nefarious things go on in them, and I'm not a big fan of that.
FYI, hey, racism, slurs, and an overall hate speech.
Okay, so apparently we don't have. Oh wait, I see it. Terraria. All right. Time to start up Terraria. Where's the remote? Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Syncing data. So let's talk about some stuff. What do you have to talk about?
Well,
So Call of Duty and Fortnite, I'm just not a big fan of first person shooters to begin with. I never really was. But when it comes to those games, I feel like there's just too much realism, and people get on my case about that because they want all this, realism in their games, and I'm like, dude, it's a game. I don't want realism in my games. Realism is for real life. When it comes to games, I just want to have fun.
I'm 100% with you.
I want to have the cartoonic type of fun that I remember from, childhood days watching Bugs Bunny, where you could drop a safe on someone's head and they pop up, put their thumb in their mouth, blow on their thumb, and their head pops back into place.
well, the funny part is, there's lots of cartoons nowadays. These don't really have that type of cartoonish violence, but I can see the entire point. But looks like we've been proven that there is a tutorial on there.
Yeah,
but
it is the flippin' third button on the main menu beneath multiplayer.
But in ACMS's defense, that's not something I would typically look at either. I couldn't remember if there was a tutorial button to save my life.
neither could
Because
you, cool
all we
Dan.
do is go in and play the game. So the tutorials, I'll be honest, when we had games come out on the NES and the Sega Genesis, there wasn't a tutorial. It was good luck.
And
That
that's
was
the
the
type.
tutorial.
That's
Go for it.
that's the type of learning that I actually like having. But nowadays, games actually they naturally put you into a tutorial to learn, but there are actually some game mechanics that they would rather you figure out for yourself.
Closest thing we had to a tutorial back in the day was what was called a game guide. And it was just a book that had secrets to the game. And you could purchase that extra, but every game came with a small little pamphlet that told you all the buttons and what they did and how to basically play the game in a general stance. And then you had to figure everything else out on your own.
Nowadays, is that pamphlet actually comes with the game itself, but I actually do remember her having to get a player's guide just for Super Mario Galaxy 2, which came with a free poster.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Matter of fact, the original Zelda game came with a map inside of inside of the little pamphlet in the game that showed you the entire map of Zelda.
It didn't show secrets if I can
It didn't
And
show secrets, but it showed the entire map, the lay of the land, where everything was.
in case you ended up getting lost in the game, which I'm pretty sure we both know that I got lost.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got lost originally, but once you started figuring out where stuff was, you could, maneuver through the game. And the different areas, had different puzzles that you had to get through to get to where you needed to go, but eventually you were able to figure that out by little mechanics that happened within the dungeons that you went to, like pushing rocks out of the way, and because there was a special item that you got, the power bracelet, which allowed you to push rocks out of the way and such. And you find all these little things, and then you'd start either pushing every rock, or if you had the candle, you started burning every bush to see if it would open up a special uh, little room where you could get something like a potion or a sword or something like that.
Or heart piece.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of stuff. But that's how games were back in the day. But they were so much more simplistic that you didn't have so many options that you would have to run through to find out if there was a secret here.
Actually, if I recall correctly, he, yeah, I think Super Mario Galaxy 2 ended up doing something similar with its green stars.
Yeah, it did.
I never personally got to these green stars myself because, as well, I don't exactly have a functioning Wii to play Super Mario Galaxy 2, at least by itself. Oh, if I don't have any of the controllers anymore, I don't think.
Well, we had, and at the time, it was a tough game. It was a wonderful game.
Now, Super Mario Galaxy 2 didn't perform as well as its predecessor, Super Mario Galaxy. However, I do have a feeling that at some point they're going to who put another for Super Mario 3D All Stars pack out there with Super Mario Galaxy 2 included, because I think there's a little bit of backlash for that game specifically, not including Super Mario Galaxy 2.
I would have loved to have seen them do a three. Like I thought those games were fantastic.
Now, everyone actually went to Super Mario Galaxy free because there actually is some fan art on there on the internet where it shows Super Mario Galaxy free. So I have a feeling that might be coming soon at some point. And, and don't take my word for it, but it's add a little bit of grain of salt.
So, Cool Dan,
There are ROM hacks for a Super Mario Galaxy free, but they're fan made.
Not what we were gonna ask.
well, let me ask you this. Cool Dan,
Yes.
what is not your all-time favorite, but what is your current favorite game right now?
All time favorite has to be Minecraft, but my current favorite game. Gonna have to check through my Steam app list. Give me a second.
ACMS. Same question. What is your current favorite game versus your all-time favorite?
Well, my current favorite game is currently Spider-Man 2. My all-time favorite, Super Mario Galaxy.
Okay. So why Super Mario Galaxy?
Well, Super Mario Galaxy, it just has something about it that you always remember.
It has that song. It
Well-
has that song when he starts flying.
Well, we're not going to play that due to copyright, but it's actually not because of that.
I love that song. That's what made me go back to that game over and over. I love that song.
Well, namely, you would ask me to play it, I think.
Yeah, just so I could hear the song.
But it's the reason why I always remember this game, even though it's been so long now since I've last played it. It's because of the ambience. I mean, there's just this silence about the game that you always remember.
There's a nostalgia to it.
Well, it's the atmosphere. Or lack thereof.
And it was a really original concept, going from planet to planet and having the meteors out there and having to go to those, and I mean, it was really brilliantly made.
All the galaxies are very unique, and the atmospheres each one has actually matches it. Good Egg Galaxy, you could actually see into the distance and see the ever shining bright sun, but on Beehive Galaxy, there's a legit blue atmosphere that was just around the entire galaxy itself. Like it was all in its own like it was its own planet. Yeah, a lot of the but then there's Junk Galaxy. You're deep in space. No sunlight could reach you. Ooh, it was just an empty black void with a bunch of space junk.
Yeah, I agree. That game was so wonderfully made. I really would love to see another one out there. Um, and I would love, love, love if they brought back some of those galaxies in, make a few changes, maybe put a new enemy there or something.
Well, surprisingly, Super Mario Galaxy 2 did this with its first galaxy that you would ever visit.
Yeah, but they did something completely different. They put you on your own planet, the Yoshi looking planet.
Oh, you mean in Captain Mario's ship?
Yeah, and that traversed the universe and all this, that, and the other. And
Now, there's a lot of things that the game did right that could actually be brought back. Namely, I would actually like to see multiple universes with their own galaxies. Yes, that would be amazing to see again. The thing that they did wrong, however, was putting it on its own little level track. I personally didn't like that. It made traversing the galaxies very, very slow. I mean, you could hardly go backwards without having to visit other types of galaxies as well. It was really annoying.
the thing that I think they did wrong with Galaxy 2, they ditched the song.
Well, actually, surprisingly, they wouldn't have actually done it because there actually is data in the game that suggested that the red star would actually be making another appearance, but they scrapped it. Probably for Yoshi, to be honest. But even then, in the first game, Yoshi's data was actually found, and
Yeah, but they ditched the
it was
flying
scrapped.
music for Mario, the one that I love so much.
Now, personally, I think that song is actually very iconic for those who've ended up getting the red star, but personally, I really like the idea of different colored stars. I mean, there's the normal power star, bronze star, green star, red star. I really like the idea of all those kinds of stars. It really it told you that this that these games were willing to make other colored stars just to who make them more unique.
Wait, blue star?
No, bronze.
Oh, bronze star.
All
Not
right,
ringing
so
a bell.
Cool Dan, you've been through your Steam list. What would you say is your current favorite game now?
Current favorite game right now is Gorilla Tag. Easy to mod, easy to make friends.
Which is also a VR game, correct?
Yes. You do need a Oculus or a Valve Index or whatever is the current best has heads VR headset on the internet right now. Currently I'm hearing in Quest free because of all the new kids in Gorilla Tag getting into competitive very fast and then not knowing how to play.
Cool.
Which
So,
is really hard to get into competitive game lobbies without knowing how to play. I'm surprised they did that.
Well, getting onto the topic of VR games, I heard that I Expect You to Die, the game series, actually has a third game.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
is.
And I've actually watched a lot of videos on it, and I'm actually kind of waiting for it to release on the PlayStation.
I thought it was on the PlayStation.
I checked, and it wasn't there last time I checked, so
Really?
I'm gonna have to take my own check, but in the meantime,
Oh, I could get it on computer and then I will allow you to play.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna play down here in the living room,
Oh
which is
no.
where we're recording right now.
I don't
Because
have a long enough of link cable.
I don't need a link cable.
I don't think it will work through walls.
Actually, I think it could because
Airlink?
I mean, have you seen where we were able to play the game before down in our basement?
Well, that was on the Quest. I'm talking on my computer.
Well, it should be able to play.
I don't know about that.
So as far as me, my favorite current game right now is Starfield. Starfield is absolutely amazing. The outer space exploration of it, the fighting aspect, I'm not real big on because it is first person shooter the majority of the time. But
I thought you would have said No Man's Sky. That's even better.
well, No Man's Sky, I love. I absolutely do.
What's your all-time favorite? Oh
but
yeah.
I put a whole lot of time into Starfield recently, and I absolutely love the game. The storyline is fantastic. I am a huge proponent of story games.
Lack thereof.
Lack thereof. What do you mean?
It's a create your own type of story type of game.
No. They have a story within that game if you play through it. And it's an amazing story, and you can do so many things through it. It's just outstanding. The graphics are great. The only thing that I found really difficult about that game was the outer space, the exploration ships, the way that you have to maneuver them. That was the most difficult part of that game, was how to fly the freaking ship and how to get it where you want it to go
And how to land.
and how to land it or dock it with something else. That was unbelievably stupidly hard.
We have a fourth guest here. Name is Whiskers. He's not much of a talker.
But we have streams on all of these games that we've talked about, except for the original Legend of Zelda. I don't think we've done that one on stream. But you
Well,
can feel free to check all of those out.
sounds like you have a game to play.
Yeah, it does. I would love to go back. You know what? I think we're going to do that. We're going to have to go back and do the original Legend of Zelda on stream.
Oh gosh, we're gonna have to find a way to get a free cord adapter to HDMI to capture card to computer.
No, dude, I'll have that covered.
Okay.
At any rate, for our first episode, I think this was a fantastic start. We have lots more to come. I'm really excited to kick this thing off. So, Cool Dan, ACMS, thank you so much for doing this with me and being here. And you can find us on all of our channels. Go ahead and tell them yours, Cool Dan.
Cool Dan 1211, and this is almost an hour-long recording.
Actually, I'm gonna pad out the time a little bit. Have you heard about the speedrunning community?
I have. We can talk about that on a different podcast. That'll give us another one to do.
I'm basically padding out the time so that way we get to an hour because, you know, as they say,
We're going to anyways.
The maximum is an hour.
We got lots of channels to push. So, and Cool Dan 1211s is on YouTube. You can always check his videos out there, mostly Minecraft and such.
Supershea Gaming is on Kick, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on a lot.
Yeah, we're on everything. ACMS, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube.
ACMS Gaming.
And I also have a separate channel where I do martial arts weapons tricking.
Supershea
and
tutorials.
I am on just about every social media platform known to man: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, I got it. So feel free to check me out there for those. We are really excited to be doing all of this. Also, we have a new website where you can find all of our channels, and this just opened up within the past month or so, called Supershea Productions, the number 2 SHEA Productions.com, all one word. And you can click there and you will find all of our channels. There's a drop down button at the bottom left hand corner. It'll pull up whomever's channel you want to watch, including Shay Girl, who does a lot of really, really funny videos and fashion quick changes and such, as well as you can find our merchandise. We have t-shirts, hats, all kinds of stuff. So feel free to check that out at your leisure. We are super excited to have this podcast going, and we thank you all for joining us. We hope you will be back with us next week. And in signing off, I just want to say have a phenomenal awesome night. How about you, Cool Dan?
Have a moth awesome night.
What is even that word?
Something I made up.
We make up our own language here.
Okay then.
Have a shade awesome night.
Oh, and by the way, I heard that had a plane derailed.
Wait, what?
What?
How does a plane derail?
It's
in the air.
It was probably on a train, and it caused the train to derail.
Huh.
Dude, I get it. Yeah,
Get outta
that
here.
was hilarious.
Get
yeah.
out of here, Chad.
Oh God! Ow! 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 My cranial structure.
What's a cranial structure?
The brain.
Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Moth.